One of the great privileges of my work as governor is I get to work with an incredibly talented, dedicated group of public servants. The team I work with is the best in the country. But every so often, they do a little something that maybe I wasn't aware of, a little something behind my back, and this is an example of that. Unbeknownst to me, Team Digital went and contacted my undergrad university. I went to the University of Rochester, Meliora, go Yellow Jackets, and asked if they had any papers of mine from my time attending college here. Now, I went to college from 1991 to 1995. I just dated myself. And when I was a freshman at the end of my freshman year, I decided to take a shot, never been done before, and run for student body president. Knocked on nearly every door on campus, which by the way, I did when I ran for state representative later on too. And I won that election, first freshman to ever win. I served during my sophomore year, and at the end of my sophomore year, chose not to run again because I wanted to study outside the university the next year. And so I gave this big speech at the end of my time as student body president. Not sure why I gave a speech, kind of nerdy to give a speech in college, but nevertheless, I did that. And my team somehow found that speech. The university had held on to it. It's right here. The State of the University Address given by Student Association President Josh Shapiro. Now this is kind of crazy. Monday, April 2nd, 1993, I gave this speech. What's even wilder, crazier, whatever, is I gave the speech at 9 p.m. So I gave a speech at 9 p.m. I can't believe any students actually came to listen to it, but apparently they did. I would also note that the speech was like 10 pages, single space, with my handwritten notes on it. So that's probably a long speech. But I was reflecting back on the work I had done. I was proud of that work. And my team kind of thought the speech was interesting. I'm not sure it is. And they pulled out a few quotes from what I wrote back as a sophomore at the university, finishing out my term as president. So I'm going to read you a few of these quotes and we'll have a little conversation about it. Let's see. All right. First quote from these remarks right here, okay? Our attitudes have not been ones of sitting back and allowing someone else to dictate how our university should be. We have fought hard, questioned decisions, and pursued new horizons. That is what I said to my fellow students. And the truth is, we didn't sit back. We didn't let others dictate to us what we should do. Instead, we went out, we took the bull by the horns. And I gotta tell you, that's been the attitude I've brought to public service ever since. I'm not gonna sit back and let something happen to me. I think it's important that you get out and lead. You build a coalition and you get stuff done. Let's see what else I wrote. In the realm of student government, I used the word realm when I was in college, we were told that certain goals were unattainable, but teamwork and dedication allowed many of these goals to be met and conquered. Each student can personalize this message, that with hard work and far-sighted dreams, impossibilities become possible and dreams become a reality. It's like a little too lofty and a little too goofy, but here's the thing. That is true. It's how I feel. Like, I think you should be dreaming big possibilities. I think you should be looking at the horizon, trying to figure out what is it that you want to make better? What is it that you want to fix? What is it that you want to do to bring people along to a better future? I have taken that with me ever since. Remember, I wrote that in 1993 as a sophomore, and I think that's still kind of true today in my attitude about government. All right. Third quote. An underlying theme throughout my term, that's the student body president, has been communication. I believe we have opened up the doors of communication wide so that our concerns are being heard. I think communication is key. Communication with the people you work with. Communication with people in the legislature who you have to work with to get bills to your desk. Communication with the public is essential. There should be no wrong door for that communication. Whether it's me showing up in your community and you pull me aside and tell me something you think, or you text me, you reach out on the socials, send us an email, write us a letter. No wrong door for that communication. Hear me on this. Communication matters. When I hear from you, I learn from you, and that allows me to do my job better. So communication was a big deal back then. It still is today. All right, here's another thing my team picked out and thought was interesting. It was a concept of working together and not wasting time complaining about problems that enabled us to meet our ambitions head on. Every human has the choice to either go through life and complain about what exists, or choose to channel his or her energies in the direction of creating new and working for change. I mean, that's it, right? We've got to work together, and we got to stop complaining and instead getting to work to get stuff done. That's the attitude we bring here. We try not to sit around hand-wringing or sit around pointing fingers at people, but instead actually work together to make change. And so I've tried to stay true to that all these years later. Here it is. It's the opening of my speech with my not so great handwriting back then. Kind of crazy that they kept this speech, and kind of crazy that I gave a speech this long to university students at 9 o'clock. But it's kind of cool that a lot of those themes that I learned to govern with way back in college as a student body president are things we carry with us today. So now that you've listened to me drone on and on and on about that, why don't you drop in our DMs or somewhere in the comments below something you did back in college that's still relevant to you today. I look forward to checking it out.